to Stitches and Sundries. This is a podcast about cross stitch and stitchy goodness and whatever else I'm up to. My name is Lauren. You can follow me on Instagram at LaurenUpStitching, where I need to post some pictures. I've got pictures taken. You'd think I'd be better at this. If you're back, you know I'm not better at this. You know I complain about this all the time. And I'm so happy you're here to hear me complain. If you're new here and have just found me, thanks so much for showing up. I am looking forward to sharing some cross stitch with you. And I'm just getting over a cold or bronchitis or whatever. I'm much better than I was last video, but I'm still kind of like weirdly high pitched and like raspy. And I will probably have to edit out coughing. I'll do my best. But I'm back on schedule. Things are going normal despite the holidays. The holidays are actually settling things down for me. I know, it's the opposite of the usual. Let me think here. Any crazy life, not a ton of life updates. Got my car fixed. I was complaining about that last time. My car had been having starting issues, got that fixed. And I'm so thankful to have a running car. When we were growing up, when I was very little, having a car that started was like my mom's dream. She was like, I will never have a car that doesn't start, that you like question. And so I'm very lucky to be able to live that life now. Until I wasn't, and it scared me. Let me think here. My dog sat a little bit. I've just been trying to stitch more, enjoy my New Start November challenge, which I gotta get stuff posted on Instagram. I'm so bad at social media. I'm barely good. I love doing this, so I'm better at it. I'm so bad at doing this stuff. Like even things I enjoy, I'm terrible at being consistent about, I feel. But whatever. Yeah, had a stitching bitch with the girls. My girly friend group is very crafty. We had an awesome day. It was just so good to catch up with people I haven't seen in a while and catch up with the whole world. It was wonderful. I got some stitching done. So yeah, other than that, I have 2 new starts and 3 whip updates. I'm on a roll. So let's do whip updates. This one's sitting next to me. It will do. And it's the cutest bag. This was in Black Needle Society's Back to the 80s box. I don't recommend the box. It's not, so like if they're selling extras, I don't recommend the box. But if you can get this in their vault, it's a very nice bag. And I am stitching You Rock by Stitchrovia in it. And here's where I was. That will be somewhere when I was talking, blabbering about bags. And I got a little bit done. This is what I worked on at the Stitch and Bitch. Just made me grab it. I love this. I've just started on some motifs down there at the bottom. So I've almost got the center of the record. That's a surprising amount of fill right there. I just got the center of the record done. And I started on the motifs, got a note, and I believe that's like one of those tall standing speakers. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm stitching this on 28 count Sunflower Lugana by BeStitchMe with the called for flosses. And I'm stitching it 2/2 because my brain needed a break from tiny stitching. And yeah, I love this. I think it's going to look so good on this gold fabric. I love the fabric choice. It's going to be beautiful. I really like this. So my plan for this one is my mom had records and a record player, and we still have all her records. And I'm going to, and lately, and I'm sure we've all been feeling this way, I am feeling the loss of physical media. Like all our music is digital, all our movies are digital, games are digital. And at any point, they can just decide not to let you have it anymore. Excuse me. There was a game not too long ago that they were like, oh, we're just not going to maintain it anymore. And so it's gone. And I was like, all those people that bought that game, you know, and movies and stuff like that, where you're like, oh, what streaming service is that on? Oh, it's on Tubi. I don't have a subscription to Tubi. Do I have to sign up for one? Like, you know, I don't want to do that. I just want to own the movies I like. I'll rent it once, you know, or stream it and be like, okay, I like that movie. I'm going to now have it, so that you can't then like, oh, we dropped it from the HBO lineup this year, so you got to go look for it. What? No, I don't want to do that. So we have started recollecting DVDs and Blu-rays. We got rid of all of ours, like, I think mid-2000s. Like, crazy people. We were crazy people. But my mom has records. And they're a lot of my favorite stuff of hers. We play them when we clean a lot for some reason. I don't know why. Just like whenever we're cleaning, I'm like, I'm going to put a record on. And so I want to start collecting records of my favorite bands. And I have a space right outside this door. There's a door right here. Right outside this door. Then I want to set up the records and then put the records like, not milk crates, thinner than milk crates, but like slots for records to go on the wall. And then I want to put this on one of them as like decoration on that wall. And I love that idea. And Stitchrovia, all her stuff is so beautiful. It is this pattern was not Pattern Keeper compliant, so be careful when you're, I don't know when I don't even know if. This is one of her older patterns, so I don't know if her newer patterns are made Pattern Keeper compatible. But that is a big deal to me. When I bought it and it was a PDF, I was like, oh, gotta be. No. And I think on my Etsy review, I even said that, like, I only gave it 4 stars or something. Not because of the quality of the pattern, but because I think that's important for designers these days. So yeah, really enjoying stitching on that. It's lovely. The fabric is lovely. Everything's beautiful. Oh, I completely forgot. I have a fully finished object. I'm going to do that real quick. So, my fully finished object is, this is In Loving Memory by Stony Creek. I stitched this for a friend who recently lost his mom. And I'm doing a big cookie weekend this weekend, where I make boxes of cookies for everybody in my family. And I'm going to put this in with their cookies, so I think the stitching turned out great. I'm going to call it 80% happy with the finishing. If I had been thoughtful about it, I would have put some kind of piping or border around it. Finished with a little bit of a slightly Christmassy background, but not too Christmassy, so it could really be anything. And a little bit of, this is hand-dyed twill from Fiber on a Whim that I got in a box as just finishing stuff. But it's the perfect like periwinkle color to go with those butterflies. I don't know if you can see. It's perfect. But my original intention was to finish it flat so that it would be a flat ornament for the tree and just put some felt backing on it. And I nearly ruined it in the process of doing that. I don't know. It's something about the heart shape. This heart is also, like, you can kind of see, like, it's not a nice heart shape. And I'm sure that's why they put a square border on it that I did not do, because I thought that would make it too big to be an ornament. So there's like a back stitch squaring off border for it. And I think just because it's a slightly odd heart shape, it's not even, it's kind of got these points that kind of push out in a couple different places. The bottom is oddly shaped. It just was not working. It was looking so bad. I was so frustrated. And I was like panicked because I was like, I put all this work into this sucker. I'm not gonna call it wasted, but if I had ruined it, the amount of time I put into stitching this and put off stitching things I much would have preferred to stitch, and I ruined it, oh my God, I would have lost it. I would have lost it. So my sister was like, okay, you've got a little bit of fabric left around the edge that's not covered in hot glue. which was my first problem. Go ahead and I will stitch it to some fabric and we'll turn it inside out and stuff it. And I was at first like, I don't, because she didn't explain it that way. She was trying to tell me and I was like, I don't get what you're trying to do. I don't think that's going to work. You're going to see where I had nicked it to fold around. It's like, you're going to see that. I don't have enough fabric. And finally she like physically was able to describe what she was telling me because she didn't use good words. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that will actually work. So she did all the sewing around the edge and she did a great job. She is I'm going to call her experienced amateur sewer. So I talk her into doing things more complicated than she's really comfortable with all the time. But she threw this together and it turned out really nicely. So with the charm and everything, it's done. It's ready to be delivered. I think it turned out great. It's as good as it could be with how badly I fucked it up. So I hate hot gluing finishes. I hate it. It's just something I hate doing. But I thought with the shape of it, it was so weird. I was like, I'm going to have to hot glue it. Horrible, miserable outcome. So I won't be doing anything like that in the future. All right. So that's my fully finished. I'm super excited to deliver it to him. I hope he enjoys it. Next whip. I have been in, yesterday I did a 3-hour training, and whenever it's actually a training I have to listen to, like some trainings you're just like, I can zone out. Like I just need to be able to certify that I did it. I'm not really ever going to need this information, or I've been trained on this every year for the past 5 years. I'm okay. I don't really need to reabsorb this. But yesterday I did a 3-hour training, and whenever I have to actually listen, I can't like have it on and I'm going to get some work done, because the work will absolutely absorb all of my attention and I will not even hear this. So I brought in stitching and I was like, I'm just going to keep my hands busy because then I can actually absorb what is being said to me. So I worked on Greetings from Beyond by Night Spirit Studio. This is one I kind of have been using as a travel stitch for a while, and I just haven't gotten it out. Here's where I was. And it didn't feel like I got much done in 3 hours, but I did put like 400 stitches in. I kept getting interrupted, but it was, I thought, very productive for a stitch I haven't had out in a while. So here's where I am now. So I got another letter done, filled in a bunch of smoke, started up to fill in the smoke here. I think I did a little bit on the border too. So I'm on my second skein of, this is Weeks Dye Works Whitewash, and the other is DMC 310. I converted the whitewash because I'm trying to match this. This is Halloween Ouija by Tiny Modernist, and I stitched it last year or the year before. And now I want to make like a divination set. And so this is one of those pieces. So I converted it to be in the same color scheme. This is 28 count Plum Pudding Lugana by Mountain Aire Fabrics. I think I got this off of Stitchrovia. And it is really coming along. I think I'm 60% done with this. Let me look. I got the Bible. Greetings from beyond. 60% done. I just hit 60. So it is actually coming along. I think this one might be, 7,000 stitches. Which is like, I think my happy spot is like 6,000 to 8,000 stitches. Like that feels like I can whip that out. I can get things done quickly. I can have finishes, but they're not ornaments. Like that's my happy spot. I've just recently started recognizing that. So yeah, I really love this. It is coming along nicely. Oh, You know what? I didn't show you. Hang on. This is unrelated. It's not unrelated. It's just more for me. So I put everything in my book, and I make pages for each pattern. And so this was my page I recently made for You Rock. So, music sheets, cool sticker from a local place. And then the back is some awesome gold tags that I made. And then this is a local place in Pittsburgh, and it's Lemon Tree Pittsburgh, and he's got a cassette. The little doggo's got a cassette, so it's cute. It's not really necessary to talk about for cross stitch, but I enjoyed making it. So, am I going quickly? It feels like I'm going really quick. Last word is I Went to Believe by Alliton Embroidery. And this is where I was. This one I was really hoping to have done by the end of the year, and I originally was like, with this blanket I gotta do and the In Loving Memory I wanted to finish, I might not get to it. Now I'm thinking I might be able to push myself and get it done if I just kind of focus. So you're gonna see this again and again, more than you've already seen it. If you've been here, this sucker just keeps like creeping his way out, like. But here's where I am now. So I still haven't finished down here. I just kind of like couldn't deal with that much blue right now. So I came up here and did blue up here. I'm filling in the spaceship, gotten a little start on the top, filling in some sky over here. And I think I'm at 80% on this now. I think so. Let's go back here and look. Where is... Yep, just hit 80%. Just hit 80%. And here's the thing. I think I have 3,500 stitches left. That little bit and that bit is 3,500 stitches. That's half of this project. That's half of this whole project is in those little sections. And now I realize why the sucker is just kind of stuck around. It's bigger than you think. I think this is like 1,500 stitches or 15,000 stitches, which is a shocking amount of stitches for what it is. And I think that's what keeps like throwing me off about it is I'm like, I'm making so much progress. I'm like, where's the end? The end is 15,000 stitches. Completely throw me off. Oh, well, I love it. It's going to be really gorgeous when it's done. I'm finishing this as a little round pillow for my sister's paint chair. Just like to sit behind it, kind of decorative. Yeah. So it's coming. I think it can be done. If I do, I have like 3,500 stitches left. Maybe only 3,000 stitches left. If I do 300 a day, which is around my average, that's 10 days. I feel like I can find 10 days by the end of the year. I got a freaking blanket to finish though. I cannot wait for that to be off my table. I'll probably show it when I completely finish it. It's not that huge a blanket. It's not that complicated a blanket. But it is now getting to the point where, I don't know what it is about it. Stitching on it hurts my arm. It hurts my shoulder. So I can only stitch on it for a couple days before I'm like, okay, my shoulder is killing me. And I don't remember that happening with any of my other, like that, actually, don't remember. It's never happened. Any of my other crochet projects. So I'm like, is this sucker's too big? Am I sitting weird? Am I don't know, too fat anymore to crochet? I don't know. But I gotta get the sucker done for Christmas. It's a Christmas present. So it's just kind of like in my mind, just like, oh, you gotta get the freaking blanket done. Why are you working on other things? You gotta get the blanket done. I don't want to do a blanket. All right, those are my 3 whip updates. Put them over here. Now on to new starts. So, I have been doing a New Start November challenge, where I started something new for November every week. And I think it was a combination of the blanket and stupid in loving memory. Too many gift stitches with too short a deadline. It just made things not feel super fun. I love a gift stitch, but I usually don't tell people I'm gifting them anything until it's done. So the fact that I kind of had deadlines on this one, they didn't know it, but I had deadlines. I was like, I gotta get those done, and it was too much. So I'm doing New Start November challenge, and I started 2 new projects. So the first one I started, this is, and I gotta pull up the thing because I need information. So this is Graveyard by Nazaire on Instagram. She's Nazaire in a couple different places. She is a pixel artist. And I saw this, I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. So I messaged her and said, would you mind if I converted this to a cross stitch? And she was like, no, go ahead. I think she did it for an art challenge or something. It is so pretty. The colors are so what I was feeling and wanted to stitch in. So I went ahead and converted it by hand. It was actually not a bad conversion at all. It just like I tried putting it into one of those ones that's like, make a cross stitch from a picture. It couldn't line up the pixels to be right, so I just did it. It was a brain off, listen to a podcast thing. I worked on a couple hours over the course of a couple weeks and finished it up. And so now I have the completed pattern. And then I had to go to my sister and be like, okay, this is what the computer says these colors are. And I color matched them as best I could. Let's actually get the thread out and color match properly. And everything was like basically completely different. I don't see color super well. So my colors are usually, my problem area is blue. Blue, I just like, what is blue? All things are blue. And all grays are blue. And all purples are blue. I don't get it. But I was struggling with this one too. Because lots of browns. I don't know. So, I had to cut there for coughing. So let me get this back up. So this is my tiny little start from my conversion from Nazaire's pixel art. And I love it already. I'm doing so much better on this than I was my previous full coverage. I think because it's a little more blocky, like there's actual like blocks of color to work on instead of just one tiny little pixel, one tiny confetti stitching. So this is going to end up being about 10 by 12, I think. It's not super crazy big. It's a perfect small full coverage, mini full coverage. So I'm enjoying it already. And this is a little bit I made in like 2 days progress. The idea with the New Start November is to just start something with no expectations. And it has been very freeing. However, I do love that, so I'm going to get back to it fairly quickly. And the colors are turning out good. The one thing I'm worried about is, actually on camera it's showing up pretty well. I don't know if it's showing up for you guys. Let me see here. Where this black is, that's the edge of a branch. So there's a branch cutting here and then there's a trunk going down. And in my eyes, I'm struggling to differentiate those two pieces of wood. But actually on camera, it's looking pretty good. That's heartening. Because I was like, oh, if I have to pull out, I'll pull out one of those two and reconfigure the color just slightly, make it one slightly darker or something to try and get there. But yeah, so that is a super fun project. I am not a great pattern designer by any means, so converting a pixel to have something that's kind of original is fun and interesting. So I use the program flosscross.com to do that. It's easy. And it is just online, so I don't have to download anything. So I can kind of work on it on my lunch break at work too. Anyway. All right, final new start. And first I have to tell you about my awesome new bag. How pretty that is. So talking about my sister's sewing skills, she made this for me. And it is beautiful. We converted a project bag pattern that she has made once in the past. It was really big, and we probably should have cut off another 3 inches on this one. This sucker ended up still pretty big, but it is beautiful. Look how good this zipper inlay is with the matching of the, like how good is that? She's pretty amazing. And she quilted it. And that is also lovely. The quilt, you can kind of see the quilting better on the light blue. I mean, how good is that? She's pretty amazing. She also made me this one out of another pattern that she did not like as much. But isn't that so pretty? Isn't that so pretty? I'm very lucky. I have a pretty awesome sister. So, let's talk about my new shirt. Also, see my cute little Notions bag. I'm so happy to use them. This is handmade in Frostburg, Maryland. And they are so cute. Anyway. So I am starting my Rotting Body by Contrary Peri on Etsy. They mostly make beaded brooches and needle minders and things like that, pins and things like that. But very recently, I think they started with needle minders and were like, I have ideas for patterns, and I loved pretty much all their patterns. And so I started with this one, and it's beautiful. And here is, I'll have to show you this thing that I just realized is sitting next to me. Here is my little start from a night ago. Oh. And I'm already in love, completely in love. So originally when I was picking this one, I was going to do it on a purple and dark blue fabric. And then when I kitted up the threads, I was like, oh, those threads are kind of, they've got this like washed out quality in a good way. Like everything is dusty and I love that. I think she used all the antique blues and antique violets. So they have that quality to them. And so when I put them next to this, which is 28 count Lazy River Jobelan by Wichelt, I was like, oh my gosh, it looks so good. And then once I put that blue flower on there, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So super in love, super excited. This is going to be beautiful. In the course of looking up, because I always like to say in my book, oh, this fabric by this place, bought from this place, right? So like this, I bought as a remnant at the Village Sampler in Charleston, West Virginia. And it just said Lazy River on it. It didn't say like Wichelt. And so I was like, who made this? Is it Wichelt? Is it Picture This Plus? Is it, you know, I didn't know. So I started looking it up. It's been discontinued. You can't find this anymore. And that makes me so sad because it's freaking gorgeous. But I had the perfect size piece to do the perfect pattern on it. So I'm pretty pleased. How did I fold this? How does folding work? So yeah. So now I have to make a page for this one. And I have to do some like skull stickers and stuff on it. I cannot get over how beautiful that fabric is. I'm very lucky. I have some beautiful fabrics. Oh, okay. Let me see here. Oh, okay. So I'm going to show you. So I did a page for Graveyard. This is my Graveyard page. It says Furnishing Undertakers. And it's like a receipt for an undertaker's. And I just had these stickers and motifs and stuff to stick on them. And then on the back, I had this awesome sticker from an artist we saw at the Pittsburgh Oddity Show. And this awesome sticker from a local punk band. And I just thought they all looked so good. They all turned out so good. And then, that's not my best. That was a little piecey. What else did I make? I did You Rock. Oh, come on. Oh, in my previous episode, another start I did was a Dungeon Master mini by Stitch It Picasso. I'll show it here. And so I finished its page. And you got to check this out. So this is a printed map from one of our adventures that we go on. I found an old, I've had it for a while, Dungeons and Dragons comic. How cool is this? So I took a page out of the comic. This awesome ghosts and everything. This castle print. And I had these cool like dice and potion bottle stickers. But this is also, in the comic, they include the adventure. So this is like stats for a monster from the adventure. And then this cool little castle that I just colored. I think that's out of a like adult coloring book that I just scavenged from a Goodwill. But yeah, that one was super fun to put together. I think those are all my new ones. Yeah, those are all my new ones. I'll do a walkthrough at the end of the year maybe of all my, because I'm going to have to move out everything I finished in the year, which is not enough. I think we talked about this last episode. It's not enough. So everything I finished in the year, I'll move out of this book. And just as I finish things, I will start moving them to a finished 2023 book. I have a pretty well finished 2022 book. I think the only things I have drifting out there from 2022, I think I have 3 projects drifting out there that were started in 2022 and have not been finished yet. And that is, and one of them is I Want to Believe, which I think I can get done. So, yeah, 3 in total that I just like have not finished yet. Were started in 2022. So I will get that, and they will be, 2022's book will be finished. 2023's book will be finished when I finish everything that I started in 2023. And I will have a book going for 2024. And that's how I think I'm going to do it from now on. I really like this binder. I don't care. This is my front. I really like this binder because I'm a person that has to constantly add pages. I never was able to estimate how many pages I thought I could get a project done in. I had no clue. So I like the binder, the 3-ring, like add pages as needed. And yeah, I love it. All right. This is what was sitting next to me the whole time. I found this awesome tin. I'm going to fill it with buttons and notions and bits and bobs and decorate my awesome podcast room here with it. This is really my cross stitch room. Like all my cross stitch pretty much gets stored here, and then we seasonally take it out. So like you'll notice Halloween will like go away. And then something else will like be taken and put up. So anything seasonal is like stored in here. So it's just full of stuff. I need something permanent for right here. Don't you feel? I feel like I need to stitch specifically for this spot. Anyway, I think that's everything I have. I think that's all the nonsense I have to ramble about today. If you are celebrating holidays right now, I hope they're going wonderfully. I hope your days are going to be filled with family or friends and positive vibes. We're almost to the winter solstice, which means the shortest day, the longest night. The sun will rise again. it can only get better from here, right? We'll just keep telling ourselves that. So, stay safe, stay sane. Have a wonderful 2 weeks.